What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of The Block is Hot. Today is Monday, which means we are going over this week's best upcoming CNFT mints. Now, before getting started, I always have to give that little warning out there that just because these projects are on my list today doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to mint them. Always do your own research, but the projects that I am listing today, I do believe have a decent amount of potential. But without further ado, guys, let's get into it. Project number one for this week, guys, are Invadaz, and they are launching on the 14th of this month. There are going to be 3,500 of these aliens at 90 ADA each. Now, guys, I have an entire interview with the owner and founder of this project, Invadaz, where we literally went over every single aspect of the art, of the utility, of the roadmap, of their plan, of their mission. And I have to say, guys, after having that interview with him, I will definitely be minting this project. One of the big things I care about when investing in a project is the team. And unfortunately, we don't know who the team is in a lot of different situations. But after having him on and after talking to him for over an hour and a half on camera and over an hour off camera, I know that he is someone I can trust, and that is important. He's ambitious, he's intelligent, he has a great team with experience, and I have no doubt that he is really someone that cares a lot about this project and is going to deliver. On top of having a team that I can really get behind and believe in, they also have art that I can really get behind and believe in. These 3D aliens, guys, look absolutely insane. They're incredible. The level of details, the textures, the backgrounds, just the whole entire look of it, the glow and reflection off of their eyes. I mean, the level of detail and intricacies that has gone into this project is just insane. And I really think there is a space in the Cardano NFT world for these aliens, especially 3D modeled aliens, where we don't really get too many 3D modeled projects on this ecosystem yet. One good point that Invadaz had brought up when we had the interview was that he doesn't think a single person is going to be unhappy with what they get. A lot of these different projects, they'll really showcase some of their best ones, and then when you go to mint, maybe they don't look too good, right, guys? We've all been there where we're like, what the heck? We almost get catfished in the NFT space. But one thing is with these aliens is that they pretty much all look insane, guys. All these different layers go really well together, and I love the model of it and just the entire concept. So the art definitely gets a big thumbs up from me. As far as the roadmap goes, there are going to be 4 different phases. Phase 1 is the alpha phase, which was the entire concept reveal of these aliens, as well as a focus on organic community growth. And if you look at their different Twitters and Discords and social medias, guys, you'll notice that they have been gaining a ton of followers, especially recently as more and more people have had their eyes on this project. They have 5,400 followers alone on their Twitter, and they are only minting 3,500 of these aliens, and about half of that is going to whitelist. So I really like the ratio there. I talk about the ratio of the amount of followers to price to quantity, and this is a very attractive ratio in my opinion. A lot of times the amount of followers doesn't outweigh the amount being minted, and I really like how in this situation they almost have twice as many followers, or about 70% more followers than the amount they're minting. Phase 2 of this project is the Zuguru phase. You guys know I butcher everything, so I probably butchered that as well. But in this phase, we're gonna have this alien mint, and we're also going to have the white paper launch about 2 weeks after this main drop. After that white paper is launched, there's gonna be different holder benefit programs such as airdrops and parachutes where you could potentially get, royalties redistributed back to you, or get physical merch, maybe some 3D modeled aliens matching your alien. Maybe you get some special cool hat, very cool stuff. Once again, he talks about this a lot in the interview, so I'd highly recommend checking that out if you're interested in this project. Phase 3 of this project is the intergalactic phase, and this is where they're going to release their season 2 Invadaz. Now, these Invadaz are not going to be these same alien species. It's going to be a completely separate alien species, and really their goal is to create this almost sci-fi like world with all these different alien species that have all of this different background. And to piggyback off of that, there is going to be a lore progression with these different aliens as we figure out where these species come from. And the main guy, Invadaz, actually comes from a background of stories and building narratives, which, if you've watched my videos in the past, is actually something very important, because that's going to develop a harder core community of people that are really holding this because they feel an attachment to it, rather than people people that are only there to make money. They're also going to have a benefits card, which is kind of like a VIP access card where you can get all of these different benefits. Once again, talked about in the interview, and they're also creating their own DAO where if you have these different aliens, you're going to be able to vote on the direction of the overall project. The last phase is going to be this universal phase, and they're going to get all these different partnerships with other projects, as well as launch this concept of their season 2. So launch these actual aliens. They're going to focus on more community growth, and then their roadmap 2.0. Now, he doesn't want to promise too much stuff in the future, but I know this team is incredibly ambitious and they have a lot of stuff planned. So they want to get this first 4 phases out of the way before announcing their last phases or their next phases of the project. But I can tell you guys that they are very ambitious and they're going to be trying to do some big things in this roadmap 2.0. Teams are very important, guys. And as I had brought up earlier in this video, I did have that entire interview with Invadaz, and he has shown his face and basically made himself public. Now, he hasn't fully doxed himself as far as a name and last name, but he's definitely done a lot more when it comes to that than most projects out there. Now, Invadaz specializes in creating stories and narratives, and he is a copywriter by day. So this is someone that we know can build a story and lore behind this project, as well as really spearhead a lot of these different ideas. The co-creator is actually a co-founder of a branding agency, so we know that he's going to be able to deliver the marketing aspect of this project, and marketing is very, very important in projects, guys. You then have the artist, which obviously did a phenomenal job, and then you have a developer that is really spearheading the overall minting process and different things they do in the future. The last thing I want to bring up with this project, guys, is their large following of 5,400 followers, as well as the engagement they're getting on their different posts. You can have a ton of followers, but if your posts aren't getting a ton of likes and comments and retweets, then that to me is a red flag, and that probably means that people either don't like your project or potentially you were just buying followers. But if you see here, guys, they're constantly posting. They're getting a ton of likes. They're getting a ton of engagement. This is actually one of the 3D models that you can, get airdropped to you in the future potentially, which is really cool. Like I definitely could see, people hanging that up. 282 likes though, 61 likes, 686 likes, as well as 4,000 views. I mean, this is no joke, guys. This community is definitely engaged. And when you put together the entire package of having a good team, of having a good following, of having good engagement, of going on these different interviews, of marketing, of having cool art, of having this concept, the story, then that all comes together and makes me want to invest in this project. And I don't do paid promos, guys. This is not a paid promo, and I know I'm talking very highly about this project, but just after talking to Invadaz and really diving into his mind and really looking into this project, this is one of those projects that I'm excited about and will be going for. The next project on our list today, guys, is Mad Dog Car Club, and I know I'm bringing this project up again, but they had changed their date to this week rather than last week. Their whitelist drop is going to be on the 15th, and then the public drop, if there's anything remaining, is going to be on the 17th. There's going to be 9,999 of these dogs, and they're going to be 30 ADA each. Now, like I said, guys, I have already gone over this project, so if you want a more in-depth look, make sure to check out last week's upcoming CNFT video, and you're going to get a more in-depth opinion. But essentially, guys, there are these 9,999 dogs. They don't look too crazy, but one thing they have done a good job at is marketing. They have over 5,500 followers, and in my opinion, they're really copying the whole Boss Cat Rocket Club feel, as well as their route, which ended up being pretty successful, if I do say so myself, for Boss Cat Rocket Club. Their whole roadmap or goal with this is to launch this project. They're going to have different buybacks in case, it goes under floor or something like that. They're going to do different airdrops and giveaways for these different ADA rewards, which I'm not a super huge fan of. I talk a little bit more about it in my last video, and the big thing they are doing is they are going to have these different car collections. They're trying to do 3 different car collections, so very similar to the rocket ships where you have to have multiple parts. They're going to be doing the same thing, but for the cars. Now, my overall opinion on this project is still the same from last week, guys. I understand their marketing is good, and I understand that they have been getting a ton of exposure, and there's really been a community developing in their Discord and on their Twitter. But in my personal opinion, this is still a best quick flip scenario. I think if you can get in at at 30 ADA, you're going to make money on this. There's going to be a lot of hype and FOMO. Once these, go on the secondary market and once the public sells out, you're going to see a bunch of people FOMO into this, and this could be something that could rocket in the short term. If you can get in at 30 ADA, I personally think you're better off quick flipping it. And then if you're someone that wants to invest in this in the long term or weren't able to get in at 30 ADA, then I would take a step back and wait, because there are people in the whitelist that are going to get 10 of these, that are going to get 12 of these, and they are going to be dumping a lot of these in the secondary market. Very few people are going to keep all 10, guys. Very few people are going to keep all 12 or all 6 or all 8. It's going to be very similar to the Smooth Yeti situation, where it took a while for the wallet distribution to level out just because so many people were able to get 10 at a time. The next project on our list today, guys, is Phoenix Arena Divers, and they are going to be launching on the 15th at 60 ADA each. Now, Phoenix Arena does something pretty special, and that's that they don't have a cap supply. They have this market open for 48 hours, and there can be as many sales as people want to buy during that 48-hour range. What I recommend with this type of open drop concept is to wait later in that time frame and make your decision based on that. If there were 10,000 of these minted, for example, maybe you don't go for the project. But if there were only a couple thousand minted, then maybe that's a little bit more lucrative, especially since the time frame is a lot shorter to mint this. Phoenix Arena is an upcoming play-to-earn game on the Cardano ecosystem, and they actually dropped these NFTs several months ago, maybe in February, and I remember actually covering this project, and these are called Max, and then this is what's dropping now, and these are the divers, and each of these different NFTs are going to have different weapons and different traits and different armor that are going to give it benefits in their upcoming play-to-earn game. And the way you can make money with this is that when you battle in these different arenas, you're going to be able to get their Wari token, which is going to be their utility token. And then that utility token is going to be able to purchase different things in this game, such as mystery boxes that could maybe give you special armor or special skins or special NFTs, that sort of thing. As far as minting the NFTs, those NFTs are going to have different items attached to them in the metadata. So for example, they can have different characters, different names of the items. The items can have different rarities and conditions. You could get a matching set, which is going to have different bonuses. And then you're going to be able to fight in this arena. You're going to be able to get these Wari tokens. These Wari tokens are going to allow you to buy mystery boxes, which are going to contain different things that could potentially just be collectibles or elevate your game or different skins. And then based on the different rarities of your weapons, of your armor, you are going to get different stats, and those stats are going to have an influence or an effect on your actual game or your play style. So for example, guys, maybe you have some stats that increase your damage, or maybe you have some sort of ability that's going to slow down the enemy opponent if you have like an epic swordfish, for example. I can't remember what the actual mint price was for these maxes by Phoenix Arena, but right now they are going for about 45 ADA, and they sold 3,775 of them in that 48-hour period. And as you see, guys, they have all these different weapons and accessories. This guy has a bomb. This guy has, this mace with spikes on it. This guy has some special robotic tail. I mean, they're pretty cool, to be honest with you, and it will be fun to be able to actually battle these in the future and potentially make a decent amount of money in the play to earn aspect. And I don't know if they're striving to do this, but on their homepage, they have all of these different CNFTs that are already in this ecosystem, and potentially in the future, it would be super dope if you could actually even battle with these if they made a whole entire partnership with it and had like an overall play to earn game on the Cardano ecosystem where all these projects can come together and come to life. Very, very soon in Q2 of this year, you are going to be able to stake these NFTs and get those Wari tokens. And they're hoping to get this game done by the end of this year and Q3 or Q4, which is actually pretty soon. And then along the way, they're going to have different sales as well as different surprise drops. As far as their team goes, they do have a relatively large undoxed team of about 7 people. And then they also have a collection of server moderators of 7 people as well. Now, the big thing I want to say that worries me when the team isn't doxed is that they're going to make a bunch of money and ditch the project. But because we already know that they've sold this project in the past and that they stuck around, and because we know they've been developing this stuff and didn't leave and are still posting every day, that isn't as big as a worry. When teams are undoxed, it's a lot higher risk if they've never launched anything before, because then they can rug pull. But if the team has already launched something, even if they're not doxxed, I have a lot more confidence still if their previous project did well and if they were still working on it. So them not being doxxed isn't as big of a deal in this situation. As far as their marketing goes, guys, they have about 3,500 followers, and this is a lot higher than what they started with. I believe when they launched their maxes, it was only about 1,200 followers, so they've had a nice 3x in following since then. Earlier in this video, I was talking about how you were actually going to be able to stake these in the future, these divers as well as their maxes. And actually 2 hours ago, guys, they just announced this would be live and the rewards will start May 1st. So there is a world where you can get these, stake them, and then by the time the game comes out in the future, you're going to have a ton of these tokens and get a ton of mystery boxes and really give yourself a head start when this game comes out. I also want to mention that they partnered with Cardano, which is one of the biggest metaverse projects on Cardano, and depending on the layers and accessories that your divers have, you're also going to be able to stake them and get rad tokens, which is the main utility token of Cardano. So really cool how they did that sort of partnership. I really haven't seen too many projects do a partnership that is more than just visuals. You can get the visuals of Cardano like stuff for your diver, and then that can give you their own token from a whole other project from the staking, which is really, really cool. I hope more projects do these sort of partnerships in the future. Overall, guys, I do like this project, and I think as a long-term investment, it's not a bad play. Anything play to earn, I'm very interested in, and it's nice to see that they've already been delivering on a couple of these different things. They have their token, they have their staking that just came out, they have all these different drops like they said they would. Their team is doing stuff, they're posting a lot. Like, they definitely do have the potential of executing on this game. Now, one thing I want to mention here, guys, is that this is a long-term investment. If you're buying this, do not expect to quick flip this. If you are someone who's trying to make money pretty quickly, like let's say within the week or within a couple months, this is not the project for you. You're better off going for other stuff. This is only for people that want to hold this for probably a year until that game comes out, because that's when most of the value is going to come from this project. The last project that I want to bring up today, guys, is Overexposed. Now, they're not minting this week, but their deadline to register for their raffle lottery is going to be the 20th of this month. So make sure you hop on their Discord and you sign up for that lottery, you sign up for that raffle. This will be a no-brainer, literally a no-brainer if you're able to get into that raffle, guys. And I hope that some of you guys listened about the Clay Nation Baked project, because if you signed up for that and you were able to get some of those baked plots, you would be up a significant amount of money right now. This is the same situation for Overexposed. Do not be lazy, guys. Register for this, register with multiple wallets. I know they're doing a lot of security stuff, so who knows what you have to do to, you know, potentially get more entries in, but this is a project you're not going to want to miss. And that's why I had to include it here, because I know people, you know, wait last minute to do stuff. So right now, guys, after this video, sign up for this. You will not be sad if you're actually able to get in here. Before I wrap things up here, I want to remind everyone to click on the description and join the community Discord. We have been providing so much information in this Discord for absolutely free. We've been doing release calendars. We've been posting important news. We have a whole entire spreadsheet going over different catalyst news that is going to affect price in the short term and in the long term for these different projects. We've also been able to engage with each other and really get different opinions as well as get to know each other. So definitely join it, guys. It's crazy because, like, I don't charge anything for it, and I know a lot of people out there charge a lot of money for this sort of stuff, so it doesn't make sense not to join and at least introduce yourself and get to know other people in this community and in this block. But yeah, now that that's out of the way, I hope everyone has an awesome day and good luck minting, guys.